My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
This nurse, who identifies as Tina Coleman, an RN at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama, thought it was appropriate to belittle people who rely on public assistance, many of whom are the same patients we care for every day. A nurse publicly mocks people receiving SNAP benefits as if poverty is a personal failure. So this is the ugly side of nursing culture we don't talk about enough. The performative, I work 2 jobs pride that disguises contempt for the poor. Nursing isn't about judging who's worthy of help. It's about care, equity, and humanity.
Listen up, this isn't just a clip. This is a sledgehammer to the soul of nursing. A grotesque carnival where an RN named Tina Coleman dances on the graves of the poor like it's a TikTok trend. Crenshaw Community Hospital, Laverne, Alabama, let that name burn into your brain. Because here, a so-called healer decided poverty's a punchline, that SNAP benefits are a scarlet letter for failure. She mocks the very people she's paid to care for people who drag themselves to second jobs at midnight because their baby's gone 2 hours without food, who bleed responsibility so their kids don't bleed hunger. And she preens like her 2 jobs make her a saint, while her eyes drip contempt for anyone who can't outwork starvation.
Tina Coleman, to be exact. It is my job as a beautiful Black woman to make sure that the world knows that you, Tina, as an RN, are okay with children suffering due to malnutrition. Tina, I've noticed that you've worked in Alabama and you've also worked in Kentucky, places where there are large populations of people who do need SNAP benefits and Medicaid. And I would never want someone like you to be working in the healthcare field that had to ever deal with someone who unfortunately needed those benefits.
I'm sure many of you have seen this nurse, but I want to tell you it gets worse. But she also posted this.
On today's episode of Black and Jobless.
I'm stitching this because y'all need to see what's happening right now. A nurse, yes, a whole RN, got online and thought it was cute to mock people on SNAP benefits. Like, really? As if being poor is a personal failure? Her name's Tina Coleman, a registered nurse at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama. And she decided to go online and belittle people who rely on public assistance, the same people nurses are supposed to care for every single day. And let me just say this, when you mock people for struggling, you're not showing strength, you're showing cruelty. This kind of attitude makes the whole profession look bad. We've seen too much bullying, discrimination, and classism in healthcare, and it's time for accountability. Because when you humiliate the vulnerable, you don't represent nursing, you disgrace it.
Imagine mocking a community of people and then joining them. Nurse Taylor was mocking SNAP benefit recipients. Could be elderly, could be children of people who fell on hard times, or could be someone laid off or terminated, or it could be someone who was stricken with an illness that you were probably in the room for when they found out. Imagine a SNAP benefit recipient is someone who was just in the room with you, finding out about a diagnosis. And in finding out about the diagnosis, they realize that they're going to have to pay the bill that's going to come from the moment they found out that they are now on hard times. Now here you are on social media mocking them. And as a result of your mocking, you're now unemployed, terminated. And I say now that you're terminated, it kind of becomes hard to look for a job, because now when you're Googled.
I want to give an update to this crazy lady. Now, many of you have identified her as a Tina out of Alabama, and that's all I'm going to go with. But it actually gets worse. Someone was able to grab this video before she put her account on private.
On today's episode of Black and Jobless.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. What's up? What's up?
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. In the heart of Alabama, a nurse who once proudly wore her scrubs and called herself a healer has now become the symbol of everything wrong with compassionless care. The nurse, identified online as Tina Coleman, who worked at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama, has sparked nationwide outrage after mocking low-income Americans who rely on SNAP benefits, better known as food stamps. What began as a careless social media post has now turned into a powerful lesson about ethics, empathy, and the ugly side of prejudice hiding behind a nurse's badge. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. You can find their ads in my description box. But for now, let me play you a few more clips and I'll be back with more commentary.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
You know, it always amazes me how much people want to go viral so much that they're willing to risk everything they have to do it. Because you came on the internet and you mocked an entire group of people, like millions of people that need help every single day, putting basic food on their table, feeding their kids, meeting life's most basic necessities, and you're a nurse. Did you know that you have ethics that you are required to live under? And I don't know how it works, you swear an oath or whatever, but there are some ethics that you live under as a nurse. And here they are, Provision 1, the nurse practices with compassion and respect for the inherent dignity, worth, and unique attributes of every person. You literally have ethics as a nurse that you swear to that includes all of this stuff right here. And when you come on the internet and you mock humanity, you are directly breaking this. I wonder if your hospital has something similar in their mission statement. Oh, look at that. They do. The mission of blank hospital to care for our community by improving the health and well-being of the people we serve, regardless of their economic or social status, by providing healthcare, disease prevention, and health education services, regardless of their economic or social status. I don't think your hospital agrees with you. Now look, your secret's safe with me. I don't go that far. If you're going to come on the internet and mock people who need help, who actually work in many cases 2 jobs to be able to feed their kids, you're breaking multiple guidelines here. Just wanted you to know that this is not hard.
As a healthcare professional myself, the majority of my patients have to utilize such programs like Medicare, Medicaid, food assistance, Social Security, and disability. But how disgusting to see how she really feels about her patients.
In her viral post, Tina appeared in uniform, laughing and sneering at people who depend on government food assistance, insinuating that they were lazy, irresponsible, and undeserving. Her tone was cruel, her words dripping with mockery, and her message clear. She looked down on those struggling to survive. But what she didn't expect was the avalanche of backlash that followed. Within hours, social media users from across the country banded together, demanding accountability. They didn't just see a nurse being insensitive. They saw a medical professional using her platform to dehumanize the very people she sworn to help. It wasn't just an opinion. It was a violation of the ethical standards that define the nursing profession: compassion, respect, and care for all, regardless of status, race, or background. What made things even worse was that this wasn't her first offense. Another video soon surfaced showing Tina mocking black people, casually saying, "Another day of being black and jobless." Those words sent shockwaves across social media, exposing not just a lack of empathy, but a deep-rooted racism hiding behind a professional mask.
On today's episode of Black and Jobless.
For many, this moment crystallized the painful truth. Racism and classism still infect even the most trusted institutions, including healthcare. Nursing is not just a job, it's a moral calling. Nurses are expected to treat people at their most vulnerable, to extend care without judgment, and to represent healing, not harm. But Tina's behavior shattered that image completely. Her words didn't just insult a group of people, they undermined trust in the nursing profession itself. When a nurse publicly mocks the poor or the marginalized, she doesn't just shame individuals, she makes patients wonder, would someone like her treat me fairly if I came to her hospital? That's the danger of this kind of rhetoric. Healthcare runs on trust. The moment that trust is broken, lives can be at risk. Imagine being a low-income mother, scared and sick, walking into a hospital where someone like Tina might be your nurse. Would you feel safe knowing she mocks people like you online? Would you believe she truly cares? These are not small questions. They strike at the very heart of medical ethics and public safety. As outrage grew, people began tagging Crenshaw Community Hospital in posts, demanding action. The hospital quickly came under pressure to respond. It wasn't just about PR. It was about accountability. After all, how can a hospital claim to provide equal care to all if one of its employees openly despises the people who need care most? The hospital soon came into action and allegedly Tina was fired. To many, that was justice served, a reminder that words have consequences, especially when spoken by those in positions of power. Her firing sent a message across the nation. Healthcare workers who engage in racist or classist behavior will not be protected by their titles or uniforms.
I need to know if Tina Coleman was fired from her job. If you don't know who Tina Coleman is, she made this super insensitive video about people on Snap wearing her full nursing outfit, even her name tag. Not too smart, Tina. Your days are numbered at your job. I know where you work. I know where you live. I know your full name. I know more about you than I should know. It's 2025, Tina. There's people who have nothing better to do than investigate what you got going on.
But beyond the outrage and the firing lies a bigger conversation. What does it say about the culture that allows people like Tina to thrive in healthcare in the first place? Nursing schools teach ethics, compassion, and cultural sensitivity. Yet somehow, between the classroom and the hospital floor, some individuals lose sight of what it truly means to serve humanity. Social media has given professionals immense power to shape public perception, but also the power to destroy it in seconds. When nurses mock the poor, it reinforces dangerous stereotypes and widens the gap between healthcare providers and the communities they serve. The truth is, many SNAP recipients are working-class Americans, some even healthcare workers themselves, struggling to make ends meet. The idea that needing help is something to be ashamed of reflects not moral superiority, but moral failure. What's even more ironic is that nurses like Tina often work in communities filled with the very people she mocked. In Alabama, many families rely on SNAP benefits to survive. So when a nurse from that same region ridicules those families, it's just not hypocrisy. It's cruelty rooted in privilege. Her case serves as a chilling reminder that professional credentials mean nothing without character. It doesn't matter how many degrees a person has or how long they've worked in healthcare. If they lack empathy, they fail in the most basic requirement of care. True nurses uplift, comfort, and advocate. They don't demean or divide.
This is in violation, I believe, of at least 2 nursing ethics regulations, and one of which, of course, the primary one is to have respect for all of your patients, regardless of their financial situation. Whew, yeah, I'm really, really sorry, Tina, to tell you that you're about to find out in the worst way.
The internet can be unforgiving, but in this instance, it became a tool for justice. Ordinary people refused to stay silent. They used their voices to protect the integrity of nursing and to call out racism, where it hid behind polite smiles and hospital uniforms. The message was loud and clear. We will not tolerate hate in healthcare. And while Tina's downfall may seem like instant karma, it's also a lesson for all professionals who think their actions online don't matter. The world is watching. Every word posted on social media reflects not just personal beliefs, but the values of the profession you represent. For the nursing community, this moment is both painful and powerful. Painful because it exposes the ugly biases that still exist within healthcare. Powerful because it proves that public accountability works. It reminds everyone that being a nurse is about more than taking vital signs or administering medication. It's about having a heart big enough to care for every human being, especially those society forgets. In the end, Tina Coleman's story isn't just about one racist nurse. It's about a system that must do better to uphold ethics, diversity, and empathy. Her firing may close one chapter, but it should open a bigger discussion about racism in healthcare, about class prejudice, and about the moral responsibility that comes with wearing scrubs. Because when a nurse mocks hunger, mocks poverty, and mocks blackness, she's not just breaking a code of conduct, she's betraying the very soul of her profession. And for that, the public has every right to demand change.
My baby hasn't eaten in 2 hours. I gotta go work my second job to feed my baby because it's my responsibility, not the U.S. taxpayers. My responsibility to make sure that he is fed and clothed. I think my lip filler and Botox done migrated. I'm getting a little bit of the Bell palsy down here. Can't feel nothing.
So what do you all think? Should nurses who display racist or classist behavior online be permanently banned from practicing? And do hospitals need stricter social media ethics policies? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have another video specifically tailored for you. And if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. Lastly, kindly consider joining my channel and I would really appreciate it. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And until the next time, the Joy Report out.